Okay, so here's the next thing. So one is risk, you know. Next thing is skill. So I had a long conversation, and I think it's over here. It's with Star Destroyer. This episode 4, the Balancing Act. Balancing Act is where I would invite people on, and we would have conversations. Just, you know, two people talking about something that they're passionate about. Star Destroyer is a DD player, used to be a big RTS CV player. I was really upset that RTS CV is gone because there's really like no other game that's like that. Hey, Mr. Dark. So the thing that we talked about is, why is it that the 40% win rate CV, the Midway, was able to kill the 70% win rate Destroyer, and that's okay? Well, realistically, the 70% win rate Destroyer put himself in a place where he could get bombed by a Midway and just ripped apart. So that was dumb. So if he was a 70% win rate player, he's probably not 70% win rate against CVs. Just a guess. But it's more, there's so much that you have to do if you're going to be super unicum, super successful, yada yada, whatever, in destroyers or cruisers or battleships. You have to learn positioning, which means you have to learn, where am I going to go 2 minutes ahead of time so that you could start making the journey over there, so that you're there in time, that you're not flashing broadside, you're set up, you're angled, you're this, you're that. You have to know how to mitigate the shells coming in, know how to use your detection to go dark or be lit, know how to understand how to move, how to read the map, how to see when something's falling, when to push the advantage, when to run from the break. You have to learn all this shit. And then here comes along a CV that just flies some planes over and clicks on somebody. They click to start the attack, and then they wait until the reticle's on somebody, and then click. Hey, I did some damage. And it's frustrating from the viewpoint of the very talented, wonderfully super skilled player, whatever, that they can keep themselves, they can take care of themselves. They've learned how to take care of themselves. They can control their situation because they have learned through mastery and skill sets how to control their situation. And then here comes along this person, which may have a 30% win rate, that can come over and touch them. And that's like, to kind of go back to the Rockstar example. So you got a Rockstar that's fucking Cloud9. Like, this dude selling out shows, big ass name, known on the radio, interviewed on TV. And yet, here's some random fuck you nobody that's going to stand in front of him in a line and say, no, I was at this checkout counter first, you wait your fucking turn. Who are you to tell me to wait? Well, I'm somebody that matters too. I matter more. No, you matter as much as I matter. And it's hard to be told, I've done this, I'm successful, I'm this, I'm that, I've earned this, and to have somebody who comes in with no accolades, no special, no whatever, and then be told I'm equal to you. But in the terms of a game, in game design, a player is a player. So if player X is in a battleship and player X takes a shot at you, he might take the wrong shot and you might successfully dodge directly into those shells and die. Because player X sucked. But it still got you killed because player X did the wrong thing. But player X still had the ability to have the interaction with you that got you killed. Or player X threw torps in completely the weird ass place that you would never have expected in a million years because this is extremely not skillful, and you're dead. Son of a bitch. It literally happened on stream. An RNG guy was just kind of moving to set up for, whoa, why the fuck are there torps here? Dead. Because there were. It happens. And yet in a CV, you could have somebody that has almost no win rate, probably doesn't understand the game, but flew over and said, hey, there's a ship over here, I'm gonna shoot the ship. Bam, does 10,000 or 15,000 damage. And Super Unicum guy who's in a cruiser is like, fuck you, I could make this 15,000 health of mine turn into 60,000 damage because I could do better than those other players. What right does this CV have to come in and strike me and take my health? Has he earned the right to take my health? And they could at least say in terms of RTS, well, RTS was a bitch. Like, it was extremely complicated, it was very hard, and if you were an excellent RTS player, well then, you might not be the singer of the rock band, but you were certainly the lead guitarist, and you deserve to get dick. Or deserve to get, you know, all the chicks and whatever that you're gonna whatever. Versus, click. So, like, those are kind of the two big arguments of basically how fucking dare you that are involved with the CV thing. But to be fair, like, when a lot of those Super Unicum dudes that are like, well, I'm amazing in destroyers, I'm amazing in cruisers, whatever, they play a carrier, yeah, for them it's just they fly around and they click on people because they've memorized every ship in the game. They've memorized attack ranges, they've memorized shell damages, they've memorized AA suites, they've memorized torpedoes, they've memorized consumables, timings, reloads, all of this shit. They've memorized maps, what's important, what's not. So yeah, at that point, they're just flying around clicking on people. But to somebody who's new, who picks up a carrier and has no clue, yeah, it's not just like, hey, I'm just gonna go over here and, look, bam, I just dunked the greatest player in the game. I clicked on him. Nah, that has no basis in reality. At least, to me, it shouldn't. But, rawr.